Macheo signed the Dutch NGO pledge, EveryChildAFamily, for several reasons. In 2005 we started out as a traditional children's home, 2 dormitories and a dining hall in between. And over the years we realized that what these children really need in the long term is to become part of Kenya again, part of a family again, part of Kenyan culture and society again. And that was something that we could not give them. We could give them proper care, health care, we could give them help with counseling, give them an education, but we could not give them that belonging to a family. So we realized this more and more, and we started letting the children go back on holidays. We started to invite the family more and more often, and slowly that resulted in the realization that saying, okay, if this child is okay to stay with the family for a month during the holiday, why can't he stay longer? Very often the problem was poverty. And poverty is solvable in many other ways than admitting a child into a children's home. So as long as there's a willing and loving and caring person that can take care of this child, it's our job to help that person do it and not to break that relationship. So we started doing that, and we've been very successful in that. And now when another child arrives, from day one we start working on how do we make it possible for the family to take care of this child again. So that means that we focus on dealing with trauma, providing proper care while they are with us, and making it possible for the family to receive their child back. And another benefit is that now on average a child stays for only 4 months in Macheo Children's Home. Before it was 10 years, and that means that the same place can now help 30 children instead of only 1 before. And the need is overwhelming in Kenya. There are still many children who need temporary help. There are many families who need help to take care of their children, and this way we are able to help much more and much better also. In our experience, it has always been possible to place a child back to a loving and caring family. Not always a biological family, but we've always been able to find somebody who was willing to take care of this child. And it's about the willingness. If there are financial restrictions, then we can help do that. And that's very often the case, that people are not willing because they fear the school fees, for example. As long as Macheo keeps on providing for the school fees or start a business for them, then it's very possible. It's more difficult if it's been longer since a child was with the family. Sometimes we get children from other children's homes that have been closed by the government, and then maybe there's been no contact with the family for like 10 years. Then it's a difficult process, but it has always been possible. If we get children immediately, then within 4 months we can do it, and we do it well. And the child is better off, and they are happy after. We keep following them. It's definitely possible. I don't think children's homes will ever be eradicated, but I think their functionality is really going to change. In Kenya, there's very often no other alternative for a child that's been found than a police cell, because the government has no other place to temporarily place them. So then they are much better off to temporarily be placed with us, where there is a counselor, where there's a social worker, where there's a safe environment, and that from there we start looking for the family and retracing and reintegrating. And that functionality of a children's home, very short, temporary shelter, I think will always remain. But it's not going to be a place where children grow up and where children live 5 years, 10 years. That model, I think, will disappear in the long run. We are very willing to help anybody who wants to make this transition. We've also learned a lot from others, and it's very good to share knowledge and help people avoid the mistakes that we made. And so they can always contact us, www.macheo.ngo, where you'll find all our contact info, and we'll definitely reply and help where we can. please think about what you really want for these children in the long run. How does their life look like 20 years from now? Do you want them to be part of the society that they were born into? And what do they need to be a good citizen and good, full, embraced by their society? How do you help them get there? That's the real question. Please think about what you want for them for the long run.